Guys, before we start today's podcast, I want to talk about a special event happening May 20th that we're actually going to be hosting, 2023's Midfest. Former guests of the podcast, Stacks Baby, Sonny Boy, and more are going to be kicking off this event, performing, running the whole thing. Kevin from that group, he's kind of the mastermind behind this whole thing in terms of getting the event together. So Stacks. These guys have a lot of cool shit coming. We're going to be starting a podcast off at 2 p.m. that day, and then we're going to have the show afterwards. Like I said, we're going to have people like Stacks Baby. We're going to have Michael and Jenny there performing. Other people like Sunny World, Bingo, and other artists from the area. And actually, we're going to have artists from not just Iowa. I think I don't remember exactly what states he said, but he said a couple on the last episode we had with him. So get ready for that. We're also going to have food vendors, raffles, a mini ramp, and they're even throwing in some free food from 6 to 7. So come stop by 2877 Taft Ave in Garner, Iowa, zip code 50438 on May 20th. Again, that's 2877 Taft Ave in Garner, Iowa. Admission is only $5. What the fuck you waiting for? Come pop out. And guys, finally, before we start today's episode, our oldest sponsor, they've been with us since the beginning, Stutterbox Productions. They're the backbone for many of the events that you see come through the Midwest, from EDM festivals to late-night hip-hop shows. And they've been working closely with this podcast since the beginning. We always have plenty of things planned in the future along with them. So if you're looking at planning your next gig or event, head over to their Facebook page and learn more today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the McAllister's podcast. I'm your host, always, Cole McAllister. We're back. We've returned after a couple-week hiatus. I'm sorry about the delay, but you know how we go. We're here. We're busy. We're joined today by newcomers, Caliwrld Entertainment, Caliwrld, The Broken One, and EJ, right? Fuck yeah, I got it right. Got it right. EJ. Third time's a charm. Third time's a charm.
Hell yeah.
I truly question, I'm like, why the fuck do I even have a podcast? Like, why is this retard running the podcast?
To remember damn name.
Why? How you guys doing today? It's a beautiful day out. A little too warm.
I had a great day.
Oh, fucking.
No complaints.
Me and EJ went out on the lake, I caught me a fish.
Lucky bastard.
Oh, you guys would go fishing?
Yes, sir.
Oh, fuck it. What'd you get? What'd you catch?
A little smallmouth bass. It was decent size. Like 7-8 inches. It was alright.
I went to Sailorville.
Bet.
It's freezing. It's freezing.
I bet that was good fishing though. That's like when it's the best, right? Fuck, I remember going to Okoboji and going out on the lake when it's like storming. Like if you get in like right before the storm hits, that's like the perfect fish. So they're like jumping out of the water.
When it's raining and shit.
It's crazy, man. So for those who don't know what Caliwrld Entertainment is, why don't you guys, tell us what you do and what do you do in the affiliation and all that? When did you guys start?
So we started December 31st was our very first showcase. We're a promotion agency. We do a little bit of everything. Mainly we do throw like hip hop, R&B concerts. We're working and getting into the EDM scene.
Okay. Word.
Working on just expanding and doing other stuff. We got a couple male strippers that like are part of our organization that we got working with us. We're working on getting a party bus. We're throwing a pool party in June.
We should have had them in the podcast.
No. Time is money.
Shit.
Yeah, I can't do it for free.
Nah.
Or maybe we could work out like a half off.
Like I still gotta pay, Like, just because they're part of my business don't mean I don't gotta pay a damn thing.
Shit.
But
do you ever deal with like the stigma of like having just male strippers?
No, we have one female stripper that actually is part of our fucking like collective, But the male stripper company is their own company in general. We just like kind of subcontract through each other.
Okay.
But yeah, no, we got a solid little female stripper that's about to be popping out a couple shows that is like
will be
legally allowed.
Booties will be
Okay, word. So I'm sorry to just linger on the stripper part, but I don't think I've ever had someone come through on the show
Because
that
we're
actually
doing
does that.
something different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, and that's why I'm curious. Like, has that been like part of it since the beginning, or is
No.
that you just kind of
It's a new
discovered
addition.
it?
Just add-ons.
So what has that been like, kind of like adding that on and like kind of navigating that whole world? I'm sure that's
It's
different.
brought us a lot of more social media presence. I will say that.
Yeah, I'm
so
sure.
far.
Sex sells, as they say.
Our first actual show that we're actually going to be doing anything with any male strippers or female strippers in general would be the 27th, and then our
Okay.
pool party.
We're
There's a lot of legal shit we had to go through with like parks and recreations and shit like that for that pool party.
yeah, I'm sure.
a lot of shit we had to pay.
Stripper and public pool. I'm sure that
Well,
raises.
we're renting out the
where-
whole pool, so
okay.
it's just the fact of like view from the public was
sure.
the big problem.
Sure. Yeah, you want to have that legitimacy.
Yeah,
Sure.
for sure. But yeah, no,
Gotta be legal.
like a way our business runs is we kind of give everybody a shot, like that's actually serious about the craft. Like, we don't care if it's your first show. Like, send me some stuff and show me that you're actually sitting there and you're recording and you're writing something. And, like, we're going to put you on something. I don't care if I don't like your music because it might not be my genre of music. But we're going to, like, the way we base our shows off is, like, certain artists in a way. Like, if we're putting a whole bunch of first artists on a showcase, we try to have at least 2-3 bigger artists that's actually pulling stuff in the city.
Sure.
At least. Just because, like, everybody wants a crowd to perform for. And a lot of these artists that haven't did a show before, it's not because they're not good.
Sure. Yeah, so you're trying to, you're doing the very similar thing to a lot of us, is just, bringing the eyes to Iowa, to the Midwest.
Yes.
I do think there's a lot of underrated talent in this state, like a lot.
So much.
Yeah, like they call it a flyover state. It really is
really
in
is.
many regards,
It really
and that's
is.
one of them. Like people, they like it's from like any industry, like film, music, podcasting. but no, I mean, there's just so much out here, There's a lot going on, and I think the more people kind of migrate to the Midwest, I think that will grow over time.
There's
you got some
so
good-
much underrated talent here. It's ridiculous in so
Yeah.
many fields. It's crazy. But see, the reason is, and my firm belief is, we don't really know how to market ourselves in this state.
Mhm.
We try to stick to the guidelines of what everybody else is doing, and people try to like follow people. We have so many artists in the state that have like ridiculous talent, and they sound just as good as like industry people, and maybe if not better. But the way they market themselves doesn't help them out, and that's one thing that I'm learning as I go as well. But that's what I'm trying to help people with, is because before I ever even did an entertainment business, I used to do live music reviews on Facebook for like ever. And I got so many connections in other states from like people that I like used to talk to from 3 years ago, and we used to like work together on social media. And like now they're actually making a name for themselves in like bigger states like Texas or Florida, where it's actually hard. Like there in those states, like you have to market yourself. It don't matter if your music's trash or not. You market yourself correctly, that's how it's gonna be. If your music's fire, you're not doing nothing if you're not marketing correctly.
Literally.
And like so I'm kind of like taking like knowledge that people give me and trying to apply it to people here.
Sure.
Because we have some of the best talent probably in the country, in my opinion. It's just people need to learn what they need to do to actually get nationally known and not just locally.
So how do you think you achieve that then, in your opinion? Like how do you cross that bridge between, or from the local to the national level?
So from the local to a national level, so if you're performing locally and you're just worried about booking your shows locally or even statewide, right? Mm-hmm. That's not going to really get you nowhere. Yeah, it gets you traction and fans in your city and like around the state or whatever, but what you need to be focusing on is promotion, like videos, photo shoots. Like when you just go out with your homeboys, you need to like video all that. Mm-hmm. Like when you do your shows, you need to video all that. You need to be posting every day. Like when you do a music video, instead of dropping like 2-3 music videos a month, or like even in a couple months, you take one music video that you pay some money towards and like promote it for 2-3 months, push it on every platform, take TikToks of doing stuff, try to go viral. It don't care if you're playing your song over somebody like going and doing some crazy stuff that's finna go viral. Like that's what's gonna get you going there. Social media presence is everything at that point. from taking you to a local to a national level. Mm-hmm. Like, it's good to do shows in your city, and you want to do as many shows in your city as possible and even in your state. But while you're doing that, you need to reach out with people in other states, even if it's a state next to you or it's a state 6 states away. You need to make those connections with people. Because, like, what's making me get places and, like, my team is because those music lives I used to do. I made a lot of connections in a lot of different states. And now those people are building their brands.
Yeah.
And helping them come up here to Iowa is helping me bring the brand that's here in Iowa with all the local artists down to Texas, Florida. Like, I'm working on some stuff in Rhode Island as well. Like, it's all about networking. It's not about what you know. It's about who you know. That's my biggest advice, I guess.
Yeah, I do hear what you're saying. I'm kind of wondering, though, like, you know, because there are a lot of people, like myself included, who do kind of like the idea of focusing on Iowa. Like, do kind of have, like, the idea of, like, you know, maybe having a local scene and maybe, you know, if you're hopeful of some kind of success, maybe the success comes from people flocking to Iowa.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much like, I need to make myself on a national level. I don't know. What do you think about that?
So the way I would feel about that is, yeah, the goal is to bring people to Iowa and bring eyes to Iowa, but that's also learning from other states. Because you got to think, in other states, there's way more people doing this the same thing that everybody else is doing. So you got to be on a higher level to do anything. Yeah. Like, here in Iowa, you can kind of, like, there's not as many people. There's a lot of people, but there's not as many people actually doing things. Mm-hmm. So, like, and going out to these other states and bringing these other states' lower artists up here puts a spotlight on Iowa. Now everybody's like, okay, we need to go to Iowa because that's where the best, smallest show is. Because every, like, industry, like, every fucking record label has a bottom dollar. Mm-hmm. Just because you're signed don't mean you're making money. Mm-hmm. Like, there's always a fucking Lil Durk, and then there's a smaller artist that nobody's ever heard of, but they're signed. Mm-hmm. They signed for $20,000, $25,000. Sure. That's the person you go and book, because now it's getting these record labels to look in Iowa. And you're also sending people out to these other states, helping these artists out, because these smaller artists have connections. They built stuff in their own city as well. Mm-hmm. You help them, they help you. People, like, y'all start switching artists from different states and stuff, that's so much more exposure than just locally. And I feel like that's what, like, a lot of us promoters in the city are starting to do now. It's starting to become a bigger trend. It's like branching out to other states and working with smaller artists in other states.
I mean, you think about it, right under Chicago.
Like people go back and forth, and that's how you make connections, and that's what gets us on the map. Right now we're shut out because nobody heard about us. Nobody knows about Iowa.
I didn't even know Iowa was a state when I moved here.
Yeah, well, it takes time. You know, I think when, as you see, like, the West Coast cities deteriorating, I think eventually, it just depends on the scope that you look at, right?
If you get enough people putting in the work and bringing attention to the state, then you have a higher chance of success.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. So, for Broken Arrow and EJ, what are your roles? Or Broken One.
Broken One.
Broken Arrow. I'm gonna take that.
Making them sound like a superhero and shit.
Pardon my racism.
DC or Marvel. You let me know.
No, but what do you guys do in Caliwrld Entertainment?
Just making music, supporting my brother.
Okay. Oh yeah, you guys are brothers. That's right. Yep. Okay. So what, do you do more like production aspect type of stuff, or rapping, or what? MC?
More just rapping.
Okay. Yeah. How long have you been doing that?
I kind of kicked this shit off. You know what I'm saying? I kind of, like, got us into. We started freestyling at first, like just freestyling for fun. It was mostly just fun, and my brother kind of just he got obsessed with it, and he put in a lot of work for this shit. And, you know, I've always just, I don't know, I've kind of kept it as a hobby, something that I just enjoy to do, something that I'm passionate about, you know. And if I were to put some work into to spread my music, then I would be able to see, like, is this worth sticking to? Is this worth focusing on in my life? You know what I'm saying? So, but I've been gone for some of this. You know, I could get in trouble and shit, so I ain't been able. But I spent a lot of time sitting behind bars. Fucking, I got a stack like this full of songs that I ain't even been able to get in the studio or nothing. Yeah, so like
we're working on it though.
Yeah,
a classic.
My man's right here has held it down for years.
He's my brother. He's an artist. You know, he just hasn't been able to get nothing out.
I ain't been able to get nothing out, nothing started.
Yeah.
You know, I've never been on podcasts, none of that. But I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So. What'd you get locked up for? What was your your expertise?
I got a willful injury. I punched a cop. Fuck the police. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Fuck the police, all that shit. Yeah. But I had to learn a lot of shit. And writing music was one of my coping skills, honestly. And I'm sitting behind bars and I'm checking on my brother. And he's you know what I'm saying? I'm just watching him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the first time we really started freestyling, man, this man was like 14. He stayed in the car for 48 hours straight, freestyling by himself. I mean, the man was obsessed with it. Like, this was just fun for us. This was, he was off drugs. But this was just fun shit. You know what I'm saying? This is something I showed them. You know what I'm saying? I'm the older brother, so this is something, you know what I'm saying? We'd get chopped and like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We'd do little rap battles or fucking just freestyle, because music has just always been a part of my life. My dad's actually a professional DJ. He has his own company in Texas, whatnot. But music's always been a part of my life. It was my first love. You know what I'm saying? Before anything, before drugs or women or anything, it was music first, you know? And so I kind of brought that to my brothers, and he felt that. And he believed in himself from the beginning. So, you know, I was sitting behind bars and just watching this shit happen, and I'm like, man, this shit's real. He told him, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm going to the States, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, I'm sitting in a cell, like, this is crazy. Like, this shit's real, you know what I'm saying? I'm watching this from the outside, watching my little brother do this shit. And I was like, okay, this is serious. I kept telling, I always kind of stayed reserved with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's always pretty much had the same dream. But I always stayed reserved, and I always fucking, always supported him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what you want to do, let's, you know, do it. You know, just do it. And he fucking YouTube he learned all this shit by himself. Everything he talks about, all the people he's fucking met, all the shit, man. These man's studied on YouTube and fucking, you know what I'm saying, learned all this shit.
Just knowing people.
Just knowing people, getting out there. You know,
that's a huge step of it, you know? Like, just, like, literally just knowing people, that's like 50% of the work right there. Yeah. It really is. It's kind of crazy. So I'm sorry to linger on this, but you punching a cop, because like, what brought you to do this? Because, you know,
he tried to grab me, man. He tried to grab me to arrest me. I wasn't feeling that shit. I turned around and punched him in his shit. It was bad. And the fucking
that is one of the ones that, like, of all the illegal things you could do, like,
you can't. There ain't no going to court for that shit. You ain't saying like
you're
done. That's a done deal. Like, you gotta commit. Hey, talk about commitment. I'm talking about my brother. You gotta commit to that shit. When you make that fucking choice, you better commit to that shit, because that's what you're finna do, and that's a violent felony. So you ain't just gonna go get a fucking apartment and a job and act like everything's fucking normal after that. You finna, you know what I'm saying? So, but
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's I'm ready for the studio shit. He's supposed to be setting up a studio. I'm ready to try to get some music out here and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm still just sitting on my shit, but it's there. It's definitely there.
So you guys both said you started with freestyle. When you're like getting in the booth or approaching the music, are you doing it from a freestyle perspective, or are you meditating, pre-writing things down? How do you do it?
To be honest,
at first it was like that. The first couple songs.
So my fucking rapping like I'm Rio, right? Which I'm about to be dropping a music video here real soon too. Was actually a freestyle. I just bought some studio time at GD mixed it. You know, shout out to him. He's the first person that actually went to the studio and started recording some shit with. But I just went in there and spit some shit. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go in there. Like,
so we know.
And it's my most liked song. But then after that, I kind of got into writing some stuff, like my Dear Addiction song that I'm actually about to remake. Like, it started off as like a poetry type of thing, and it was just like, okay, I'm gonna put it over a beat. It's some deep shit. And then like my Molly and Sands, that was a freestyle too. Like, and that's my favorite song. Like, so it just goes back and forth. But now, like, the stuff I'm about to be releasing this summer and stuff like that, that's all written. Like, it's some stuff that's coming from the heart, because one thing I realized is there's a difference between being, like, just a regular artist and being a freestyle artist. Like, I gotta write some shit sometimes. Like, sometimes you gotta just spit that shit from the heart. And, like, you do freestyle. Like, when I write my stuff, I freestyle my shit and I go back and I write some shit like da da da, and then I go and keep going. That's how I get my songs together. That's how a lot of my brothers get they songs together. Like,
yeah, I strayed from the freestyling. Honestly, like, it just wasn't like, it's an art. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was for fun. So when I was sitting in jail and stuff, it started with poems. I would start writing poems, and then I started writing songs every day, 3 songs, 4 songs a day.
Because I told his ass, I was like, you just
sitting
in jail, go write your songs, bro.
Yeah, he said, write some songs, you know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for you for the studio. As soon as you get out, bro, I'm holding you a spot, you know what I'm saying? Come to the studio. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, I'm like, cool. I didn't even write none of this shit with no beats or nothing. It's just, it really is poetry. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I write the song and then I try to match it to a beat. Then I try to switch, and you know what I'm saying? And as I progress in the flow of the beat, then I change things. You know what I'm saying? Then I make edits and shit to make it sound better.
Did you write the verses on the wall? Was that like...
Nah, hell nah. They give you paper. They do pay for paper.
I watched this movie last night called The French Dispatch. You guys ever heard of it?
No.
You guys heard of Wes Anderson? Director?
I don't think so.
So he did this movie where it's basically just like the stories, like there's a journal in like Kansas that does different stories, and one of the stories is like there's this deranged artist who like is paintings, and he like paints in the walls of a jail cell, and like they have this whole
like that.
They have some like scuffle because it's like federal property, and like people want to buy it, so there's like all this like paperwork and all this shit.
I've seen some shit like that when I was in a hole. I seen a whole mural in this dude's cell. You can buy little fucking colored pencils. They're only this big.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine how many colored pencils you spent. You know what I'm saying? He had the whole fucking wall done in color. And I was like, and that's nice. I was jealous. You know what I'm saying? You're sitting there and it's fucking just pale walls. He fucking did his whole fucking wall up. I was like, damn. I was like, that's what's up. He had a vibe in his shit. I was like, he's trying to survive.
Yeah. But in the movie, they like erected the wall and like just put it in a museum. Like they ended up just like buying the wall. They like, etched it out and then just like put it in this little museum in Kansas.
That's a little bit off topic, but
no, that's what the show's about, man.
I was about to say my head of security over there, EJ. You know, he's a male stripper. Shout out to it.
Oh, you're a male stripper?
Yeah.
Oh, now this is interesting. Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So EJ, so what got you into male stripping?
Well, I as well was in prison for a while. I was in
okay.
That is not how you should start the story. That's not a good look, dog. You should. Can we edit that?
No.
We don't edit.
While I was in prison,
let him tell his real shit. Yeah, come on.
All right.
While I was in prison, my brother told me he was a male stripper. I was like, man, all right, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? So when I got out, he got me into it. You know, so.
So what about that like lifestyle or that job do you enjoy?
The most enjoyable part of the job of stripping, obviously being a male stripper, is making the woman or whoever you're dancing on, you know, make them feel special, you know what I'm saying, and make them feel like, you know, like you know, there's certain things. A woman loves certain things.
Don't even filter it, bro. I'm just saying,
go ahead
and say it, bro.
Like they love.
No, they want that emotional.
They love that.
They love it.
They love that ass
when you're very sensual, you know. And very, very, like, they just know. I know.
It's real. It's from
how to make a woman.
It's from the heart.
Wet them panties, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
So I have that
certified panty dropper in the house.
I ain't gotta touch it.
So that was I had kind of that question, like that's probably a big difference between male and female strippers, right?
Right.
It's like with a female stripper, they're appealing to like the like you're looking at me and like they're doing a dance to like show off their stuff. Whereas like I'm sure like from what you described, it sounds like a male stripper is more like involved. They're more like I want to make you feel
more
at home.
Sensual.
Yeah, it's very sensual.
It's personal.
You know, it's very personal. You know, you got to make them look. You look in their eyes. You say, "Look at me."
It's just like prison.
Look in my eyes.
Eye contact is
no,
crucial.
Straight up. I ain't gonna lie, man.
They like the commanding aspect of it.
As soon as they look at you, bro.
They do.
You gotta be a dominant male.
Real shit.
As soon as they lock eyes with you, I ain't gonna lie, man.
It's over.
They are yours, man. And they become one with you in your world, bro. And you are in control of how they feel. I ain't gonna lie, man. This is how this shit works,
deep.
man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
That's deep as
For
fuck.
real.
Damn.
And it's the way you touch them, you know. And they're more, I'm gonna lie, man. Guys, they party, man. I'm gonna lie, man. We party, bro. But women, girls, they fucking party, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's real shit.
like super hard. Way, dog. I'm telling you.
I'm sorry.
They get down, man.
I'm sorry. I have so many questions.
They get down,
Let them flow.
I ain't gonna
He'll
lie,
tell you.
homie.
Let them flow.
They shit.
So
They love to party, man. I ain't gonna lie.
So to the guys, when their woman is going out with all their girlfriends and they're like, yeah, we're gonna hit up the club, are they being a little whore, or are they being honest and being like, you know, is it true? Is it true that they're going out and they're being like,
Hold
oh,
on.
I'm getting laid?
You got
Well,
no. There ain't nothing getting laid about it.
Maybe not necessarily getting laid, but like you're like you're on that line, right?
It's entertainment. It's for fun. Go ahead, tell them you like.
Right. It's purely for entertainment. And
Okay.
some dances that I've been to, they'd be like, "Oh, dance on my friend." They pull from from the side where I hear dance on her, and she's like, "No," you know. I'm like, I tell them to say, "Hey, man, hey, girls, it's just
I'm dead.
purely for
I
entertainment."
can tell you do this a lot.
Purely for we're just trying to have fun. It's like just we're cool.
That shit crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just have fun, you know? Like, it's just for fun. You know, just have a good time. And generally,
Yeah.
they'll be like, okay, you know. And before we go into a dance, generally, we'll be like, do you want it mild or wild? So
There's flavors to this shit.
so
There's levels
now
to this
so
shit,
there's
yo.
different levels.
Something
You know
that a
what I'm
female
saying?
stripper will
Shit.
never ask.
But the girls, they're all like, man, no, fuck that, man. We want it wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that.
Most of the time they want it wild.
Oh,
Pay
man.
for that shit.
Yeah.
And we're about to come up. We're about me and Caliwrld right here. We're about to go to a dance on Thursday
Nice.
out in Iowa City at a college fraternity for the freshman girls out there. So
Oh, fun.
it's gonna be fun, bro.
That's
think you-
classified.
Where do I need to be to get on this shit? Hold on. Back that shit up.
Oh, he's coming.
Where do I need
That's
to get
classified.
where
I'm a
where
kid.
Guys, I think I've
Wait,
discovered my new
Oh, they're
feature.
gonna- It's fun.
I have an in.
fun.
I have an in.
It's fun, man.
Hey,
And it's very lucrative too.
McAllister hour for
I'm sure.
real. Yeah, when it was shirtless, tune into his OnlyFans. Or come out to Iowa sorority
for real.
party.
That's funny.
It's all about having fun, then, for real though.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. What do you ever deal with like the stigma of being a male stripper?
Most definitely.
Mm,
I ain't looked at them the same since.
so
Okay.
on the real, so Callie and my dude right here, they already know that being an entertainer, you have to have confidence. So, you know, if you ain't got that confidence to go to perform, you know, because at the end of the day, it's just a performance. You know,
Yeah.
really it is. You know,
Non-sexual.
so
That's extra.
you got to be confident in what you do. You know, as a
Yeah. Fuck
you
the
know.
haters type of.
So most men, I'm just gonna throw it out there, there's just not alpha males, bro. and we are the alpha
You gotta
males.
be a real man and shake
You gotta
ass,
be an
you know what
alpha
I'm saying?
male to do this shit.
Yeah,
No, I'm
you
gonna lie,
work
bro. You
that
gotta
ass,
be an
you gotta
alpha
be a real
motherfucking
man.
male to do this shit, man. For real.
You say you getting married tomorrow?
That was the
girl
rule.
getting a real man shaking ass off it, for real.
Check out this dome booty dance, Mitch. What's up?
That was the rule Jordan Peterson
I went
forgot
out with
about.
my
Male
so
stripping.
there's like
You gotta
6 or 7 of us.
Alpha male to wear a thong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Man, them girls love that
that's
shit,
above
man.
my pay grade.
Anything to create a fantasy for
With it.
the girl, you know, the woman that you're dancing on. You got to create that and give them a feeling of that. Okay, this is cool. We're safe. Everything's cool, you know, and they just have a good time. Because it's not it's not
have to
even
be comfortable
personal,
to have
really. You know what I'm saying?
fun.
They just become very comfortable with it because you got to be very sensual with them. And sometimes they'll grab you. I mean, and that's okay.
From a third person's perspective.
And that hey.
That's another difference, right?
Now, for a female stripper.
A male stripper gets to be a lot more, like...
sensual.
Like...
Gotta be go okay for the grabbing, right?
Yeah, well,
They
not
will
even
touch
that.
you, you know.
I don't know if I- yeah.
You know, we grab their hands, you know what I'm saying, put them on our chest.
okay.
Yeah.
You know, make them touch, you know. And they love, they love
You kind of make
They
them
love
feel
it.
special for the
you gotta
night.
you gotta
The
make them feel
difference
special.
between a male stripper and a female stripper is a female stripper. She's like a good one's gonna give you an entertainment show. Like she's gonna sit there and she's gonna dance and not just like strip and show you her private parts. A good female stripper is an exotic dancer. They're gonna dance.
That's true.
Sure.
That's
Right.
true.
But it's a
dance.
lot harder, in my opinion, to be a male stripper because
Fuck yeah.
there's a lot more that goes into it. You can't just go up there and shake your ass and like get some dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you gotta sit there and make that girl feel special. Like
You don't got that
especially-
built-in shit.
especially
You
here
gotta
in
be very
Iowa.
intimate.
Yeah.
Very intimate.
Yeah, especially
It's on a
here in
deeper level.
Iowa, you got like they hire you. There ain't no like male strip club where you just be like, oh, I'm gonna go out with my homegirls and go out to the male
Like, hey,
strip
I got
club.
a penis. Can I be a fucking stripper?
You gotta fucking order that shit, and like they come
what
to
I'm
you.
saying?
So it's a lot of bachelor parties and like college parties and stuff like that. But you gotta make these certain girls like feel a certain way. You gotta be more of an entertainer. Like that's what I noticed. Like with going to a couple strip clubs here is like. A lot of girls think they could just like shake ass and like show you they private parts and like, okay, I'm gonna give you some money. Like stripping is more professional than that. It should be at least.
They have to have fun to give you the money.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not because anything else really.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that they're having fun, so they're keeping it going. Like,
Yeah.
You know.
I have a question for all of you guys, since you kind of all dabble in this world of like, you know, entertainers,
Okay.
stripping and all that. What do you think about like the idea of like you know, like sex addiction or pornography addiction? And some background, like I'm personally someone who's struggled with that, and like I kind of recently had like a whole like thing where I don't watch porn and like all that, and like I don't know what do you guys think
I don't
about
either.
like what do you guys think about like that the people who experience that kind of thing, and how does that play into what you do?
I believe it's just as much of an addiction as anything else.
It is. It's
Yeah.
addictive behavior. It's
Like-
something that you can't control. It's a compulsive behavior.
Yeah.
Obviously it doesn't make you feel good to continue to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's literally the same as any other addiction. You're chasing that first feeling that you got. You're using that to cope with whatever it is that you need to cope with. You know what I'm saying? So it really honestly, in all aspects, is the same thing as any other addiction.
But
I've known people that have gone to treatment for that. You know, there's treatments for anything, eating disorders, pornography. You know, me myself, I'm a recovering addict. So
Okay.
I know when you know what I'm saying, when I talk about this, I'm not just bullshitting. Like it's understandable. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing.
How long have you been sober from, if you don't mind me asking?
I got 5 months, 3 weeks. 5 months, 3 weeks.
Is that's like completely sober? Or?
like
completely
7
sober.
days.
Hey, good,
Completely sober from
congrats, man.
anything.
Like
anything.
7 days too.
No alcohol,
Don't
no
let
weed,
forget
no
the
nothing.
7 days
That's
is
awesome.
important.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I still smoke the weed, but I
If I could,
took
I'm on
that myself,
probation,
too.
so if I could smoke some weed, man.
That was
that'd
extra
be-
extra motivator.
Let's go ahead and
Fuck
cut
on
that.
you.
No, I'm saying? But like,
I'm open about it. You know what I'm saying? I've had to, like, you know what I'm saying? How you just spoke that.
Yeah.
Like you're open about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm open about that. I'm not.
I think
ashamed
it's
of that
important to
part
be
of me.
open about,
It is
yeah.
a part of me. I am that person, so I can. You know what I'm saying? As an entertaining aspect or towards my music, I can actually relate to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On a deeper level, that can motivate me to, in my lyrics, to make a difference with somebody. You know what I'm saying? With what I'm talking about, I know what the fuck I'm talking about when I say, you know what I'm saying? I feel what you feeling. You know what I'm saying? So that I feel like you gotta embrace that shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta embrace that's a part of
Yeah,
it.
I agree.
You know?
to answer your question with the whole pornography like addiction and shit like that, and like going into like the male stripping business or like stripping in general,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different aspects to it. Porn addiction is like any addiction, like anybody says. Addiction's addiction. It's a sickness. It's like something that you cannot be healed from besides healing yourself.
Yeah.
Something inside, something in your soul, something this
But-
else. It's a symptom of something deeper.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
With the stripping and shit like that, it's a different because like if you go to other states and like even female stripping, like you gotta be talented to do it. You do.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what the male stripping. You got to be talented. It's more of an art, and like a lot of times, like people that are addicted to pornography or whatever, like they're not gonna actively go and like pay for a private dance, and if they do, it's not gonna be the same thing because pornography and live performance is different things.
Yeah, they're in that same world though. I mean, I will agree that those are like kind of different venues.
It's a sexual stimulation, so it affects the same part of the brain.
Yeah, I guess to play devil's advocate, and this is just my like what people might counteract is like you're what's the term? Like you're promoting that kind of that industry that like because you're participating in it, you're maybe like taking advantage of people's addictions. Like I don't think this is just kind of a point that people will make.
No, that makes perfect sense, and so. I wouldn't say everybody, for at least my personal self and at least like my brother over here.
Yeah.
He doesn't look at it like from an outside perspective. Like I'm not no male stripper. I'm gonna make that clear. Down. I'm not a male stripper. Okay, he's a male stripper. I'm not a male stripper.
Because like, one less OnlyFans I have to put.
Like yeah. Right. But
do you have an OnlyFans? Just curious.
No, I do have a website though.
Oh, okay.
Yep, we do have a website.
But see, that's the thing.
If you want,
like,
we'll put it down.
So from an outside perspective, like as him as a person and like what he takes in his craft, like there's a lot of shit that goes into it. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna go shake my dick in my ass for some girls and I'm gonna make some money. Like he has to steadily go to the gym. He has to steadily work on himself. He has to steadily work on his dances and go with the movements. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes into that, and like from an outside perspective, he doesn't sit there and be like, oh, like I'm trying to do this for like sexual appeal. Like I want everybody to sit there and be like, oh my god, like
yeah.
But
it's more of him just like, hey, this is an entertainment. Like I need to sit there and like I'm gonna make this girl feel like the best girl in the world. I'm gonna make this dude feel like the best dude in the world. I'm gonna make like whatever the case may be, like he takes a pride into it. It's not no like ulterior motive or like feeling like he probably don't think about, I'll let him tune in on this after this. Like he probably don't think about having like people just like, oh, like I know they're addicted to this, I'm gonna take advantage of it.
No, I wasn't saying that.
He was saying about promoting the industry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Promoting that culture and shit, which I understand that, which like when you said that,
view,
when you said
like,
that, honestly, it made me think like that's how it is with everything. They benefit off of addicts. They benefit off of feeding into that shit of promoting it. You know what I'm saying? Sex sells, alcohol sells. You know what I'm saying? Like with me, it's like I don't understand. Like alcohol is legal. You know what I'm saying? And hundreds of thousands of people die off of it. You can die even just trying to quit it. But weed's illegal. Mm-hmm. But weed's illegal.
Well, that's a whole other thing in itself. The legalization game of government and the nefarious
things that go behind that. It's a fucking plot.
Yeah.
It's a plot.
Yeah,
they're benefiting off of it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and like to the point that you said about like benefiting yourself and like you working out, like that is like a very positive aspect that I can see to like the pornography industries. Like I think like promoting like being more fit and better, like that at its core, I don't think that's bad. Now you get into like the whole thing where it's like how women perceive themselves and like how maybe like things like Instagram and TikTok, like how maybe that affects their psyche. Like that's a very
I promote confidence, self-love, self-worth. Those are the things I promote.
I want you to tune in on this. You the professional here.
What do you think about that, like the like Instagram like promoting like a certain physique and like how women like have mental health issues or whatever because of that?
So here is a secret I'm gonna tell all you guys out there. A woman don't matter, it doesn't really matter what your physique is. It's how you listen to them. Yeah. And how you react.
How you carry yourself.
To their body language. It's all about communication. Whether it's through a dance or through a verbal communication.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we do is not pornographic at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very mature in nature. Obviously, you know, we don't do full nudity or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not like we don't do that. So it's completely professional, like for real. It's professional, and we're the only male strippers in Des Moines.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Actually, probably here in Central Iowa.
These poor Iowa whores.
Shut the fuck up. That's stupid.
So,
I'm just talking shit.
and they gotta. I mean, they pay.
What? Oh, take a break? Yeah, we can take a break real quick.
Take 5.
Y'all didn't.
Caliwrld. We're on a different world.
Caliwrld, extraterrestrial, you know what I'm
What's
saying?
Caliwrld doing in Iowa? That's my question.
Trying to get Iowa on the map.
Trying to get Iowa and Cali.
No. So the reason I go by Caliwrld is actually because I had a homegirl. We're like ride or die. You feel me? Like friends, and she overdosed on fentanyl.
Oh shit.
Her name was Caliana. She went by Cali.
Oh, okay.
So Caliwrld is in remembrance for her, and my artist name is Caliwrld Kelly. Kelly is for remembrance of my mama. Like,
okay.
So it's a little bit deeper. People get it confused all the time. Like I get all the time, like, "Oh, you ain't even from Cali," and I sit there and I tell them, and they're like,
Then they feel that.
"Fuck."
Yeah.
You did that on purpose.
It ain't even supposed to be a sad thing. Like nah. Like I live in
get these
her.
motherfuckers in the
I live in my mama's name and I live in her name every single day. That's the whole point. Like, it's like it's not supposed to be a sad thing. It's supposed to be like they in a better place. We down here living every single day life. Got to worry about where we're gonna sleep,
That's
what we
facts.
gonna eat, how we gonna pay our bills. You feel me? Like they want us to turn up. Like they want us to live our best lives and go after our dreams. Like it ain't no sad thing. Like I do Caliwrld because like it's supposed to be a turn up. Like that's why I started an entertainment business and not just like try to start a record label or fucking like whatever I wanted to do. Like I have my own collective, Caliwrld Collective, because it's like everybody's good at what they do, and us working as a team. Like, okay, you're a podcaster, okay, you're a photographer, okay, you're an artist, okay, you're an engineer, okay, you're a promoter, okay, you do this, you do that. Like we all work together as a team, we could achieve something. That's what Caliwrld should mean. Like it means like
Truth.
you're supposed to be looking out for each other. You're supposed to be living the best life you can. It ain't no sad ass thing. Like we turning up.
Yeah. No, that's a good perspective, man.
There is a sad boy Kelly though, so sad boy Caliwrld, right?
Caliwrld sad boy.
Yeah, Caliwrld sad boy. So there is a sad.
He's a
aspect.
prospect. It's okay.
Sad aspect to it.
So
shout out to him though.
So if this isn't too touchy a subject, I'm curious about what since you had a close friend that died from fentanyl overdose, what's your thoughts on like drug legalization or like anything like that, or like the state of fentanyl? Like how do you think we like solve that problem?
To be honest, I believe that we should follow what Oregon's doing with the drug laws, and that's because there's a lot more rehabilitation like sessions and like groups and like things to help addicts, because addiction is a disease that doesn't have a cure. It's not just a bad habit. It's not just like something that you get into. Like addiction is a disease that is hereditary and comes from bloodlines. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, and I believe that we should, instead of imprisoning people, because that only makes them hard. Like it makes them cold-hearted. You like
doesn't help the problem at all.
Yeah, you put people in prison because they're on drugs or whatever.
Further feeding the cycle.
And now you're just making them cold-hearted and not rehabilitating.
You're putting them in a state where they're gonna want.
These people are sick.
Continue to drugs.
They'd rather send you to prison than send you to rehab.
Or even like sending these people into prison like because they have a drug habit or whatever. Now you're making them like mixed in with violent people that actually deserve to be in prison and are violent. Now you're making these drug users that weren't never violent on the street, they just had a drug habit, sit here and get violent and cold-hearted, and then you expect them to go back on the street and be normal people.
Yeah. Well, I think when you look at like prison and like the people that makes up, like it's almost majority like you related to drugs. Like a lot of these, and like a lot of them are non-violent offenders.
Facts.
So if you alleviate that problem from the equation, you naturally are going to have people that are in there for more legitimate reasons, like violent, aggressive reasons to be in prison. Like a reason that like anyone should see, like, okay,
what are you trying to say?
Should be in jail.
Like me.
What are you trying to say?
I had a violent crime.
5-0 is around the corner now.
Fuck.
That's the only good.
Hour has a wire on him, guys.
That's the only good one.
Y'all better watch out.
I've been watching The Wire and I've been inspired. So
You said 10-4, we got him. 10-4.
Right.
Let's bring the pattern.
Confirmed. Confirmed.
No, but honestly, like, I feel like we should release, instead of like making everything so illegal for drugs and start rehabilitating people. That's what's gonna make change. And like, everybody could talk about what they want to talk about and this, that, and the third, but until people actually put their foot down and be like, we're not standing for this anymore, that's what's gonna happen. Like, drug offenses in the United States, like, ever since the like war on drugs happened, have been ridiculous compared to any other crime.
I agree. I agree.
Like, you get, and you got to think about it, like, in states like Cali, like, you get caught with under 100 pounds, like, you spend 15 months in like a jail. You don't go to prison because they have so many violent offenders, and you get one charge, is drug trafficking. But then you come to a state like Iowa, right, and you get a pound of meth or a pound of like some crazy drug. They're gonna hit you with every other charge under the book, and now you're doing 55 years in prison, like, over like some small shit. But why is the reasoning for that? It's because our government is more worried about the profit off each person than the actual rehabilitation of addicts.
I think that faith is the only way to combat addiction and drugs.
Really?
I've seen more addicts heal and recover because of faith. That's how I recover. That's how I'm in recovery. It's because of faith.
You don't think it could be done without? You don't think it could be done without like a belief in like a higher power? You don't think somebody could just realize that, like, hey, I need to better
If you can just stop like that, you're not an addict. If you can just use willpower to stop using drugs or whatever it is, you're not an addict. Because
I'm scot-free, motherfuckers.
Yeah. or
bring it on.
And if you really
give me one of those beers.
If you really truly believe that,
I was like, okay.
if you really, or
damn, I feel like asshole now.
or you're still like mid deep in that addiction to believe that you can overpower it, because
hey,
you
Eli,
cannot. It is something that is greater than you.
How do you feel about?
I guess hold on, because this is interesting, because I'm personally an atheist. So I think it's interesting that you when people make that correlation, because like that's
okay.
I always think that's like I just don't see why that you need to have the faith to like better yourself. Like I wish there were more like I think what the case is. I think a lot of these addict and like addiction and prevention resources like happen to be based in the church. So people tend to go to the faith-based route, but I truly do think that there could be like an agnostic or a free-thinking way to do that.
But like when it comes to that, like I said, like the amount of addicts that have recovered because of faith. I mean, AA, the very first steps is accepting that you're hopeless and believing in a higher power. Whatever that might be. It could be Gandhi. It could just be a universal conscious. Because I know if an agnostic or whatnot. Isn't that like you believe it's just all heading? It's like, doesn't have no meaning. It just has, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't have to be God. It doesn't have to be Jesus. It can just be something that's above you. There's like a consciousness, but it is a foundation in a lot of programs. You know what I'm saying? Because for rehabs, all they can really teach you is like tools, and they like help you deal with trauma. So is there a way to do without that? Yes, by dealing with your past traumas, you can, you know what I'm saying? You can recover, but.
I mean, I think that's the only way to recover, really.
Yeah, that is the only way to recover, and some people need help.
So, but why do you need God for that? Why can't you just go to a therapist? I'm not saying
that you do. That's why I'm slowly sitting here as I'm talking with you, and I'm sitting here. Because hold on, listen. That's because it's a tool. It's something that I can use to get out of my own self to put it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's me solving my problems, but it's in my belief that something's helping me. It's not. I don't know how to explain that, but it is. You know what I'm saying? You go to therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I will say, look, I mean,
it's all dealing with past traumas, and none of that has to do with that. But it is. I feel like it is a factor. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard factor.
And I do want to say, I'm not trying to like diminish your process. If faith helped you get better,
This is an intellectual conversation that needs to be had, and I love this. Like, this is awesome. Okay. I could do this. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, awesome. I did want to say that because, like, however my beliefs.
You're not gonna offend me, and if I offend anybody, you know what I'm saying, I'm not pushing. This is just something that I can talk on because I, you know.
Bet. But I don't know. I guess the thing about like the Christian, really religious, but specifically Christian aspect when it comes to like substance use and like it kind of in relation to like, you know, it being quote unquote like a sin. Yeah. There's a punishment aspect to Christianity that like I just like as an atheist like I've never understood that. I've never understood why people think that is necessary. Like they need to be punished for.
Because so
what they've done.
When you change your behaviors, there has to be a negative stimulus. If I do something wrong, there's a negative stimulus to that. So that's that aspect. But there's an out. There is, you know what I'm saying? All you have to do is accept that you're hopeless to your sins. You know what I'm saying? Accept that. That's all you have to do is confess them, and then you give them to something else, and you're immediately forgiven. I've done shit that you should not be forgiven for, but I am forgiven. This is a fact. You know what I'm saying? So, and a part with all that, when it comes to sin, like that is, and I don't believe in people that sin shame and they look at people like, oh, you got tattoos and shit, because if you break shit down to the core, regardless of what text, you know what I'm saying, what fucking version of fucking the Bible that you read, or who you fucking, you know what I'm saying, or this whatever, the nitty gritty shit, Jesus or whatever, all religions promote being a fucking good person, being a kind person in this world, treating people right, carrying yourself with a sense of integrity. You know what I'm saying? That's what they are. All they are is manuals on how to fucking be a good person. You know what I'm saying? Leave all the rest of that shit. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what it talks about. You know what I'm saying? So in with Jesus, it just gives you someone to look up to be an example of. You know what I'm saying? When you break it down, like those people that are judgmental and shameful, they have no right to be a judge, because who the fuck are they? That goes back to that ego death. Who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? To judge somebody because you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, I guess
so that's bringing a bad name to that shit. You know what I'm saying? When they do shit like that.
Sure, I guess when it comes,
there is an out.
Yeah, well, I guess when it comes to like the argument of like how religion is like a model to like exist, I don't buy that. Which is
the same thing as therapy. But why don't you buy it?
Well, because I think that's innate. I mean, if I were to like just all of a sudden like be violent and like, you know, just start punching you guys or like take a gun and shoot you, like that's gonna have negative consequences on me, regardless of whatever religious law or moral. Like I'm a big believer in like moral law. Like that's something that like a lot of Christians will affiliate, but I think it's innate. It's just innate in all of us. Like enacting in society, it makes sense. You don't want to inflict things on other people because that is going to come on you. You don't need God. You don't need any kind of scripture to know that.
And that's a belief in the better of people, because some people, you know, there are people out there that they don't have that. You know what I'm saying? They are like, evil is real. There's people that snatch kids up. There's sex trafficking.
But I also think there are a lot of people.
Evil is fucking real.
Hey, what's that?
Evil is real.
Hey, what's that? What? Conversation? What?
No. We can talk about, if you want to have a separate podcast about this, I'm down. I'll give you my information, because I love having conversations like this. You know what I'm saying?
I'm getting uncomfortable.
This is the shit I've put work into.
I'm getting uncomfortable.
Is fucking talking about this shit, this intellectual, spiritual, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The deeper shit. And I like that shit. Ass and titties is fun, but you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, making a difference, and you know what I'm saying, you're just trying to make a difference, and fucking make a fucking difference.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter what you believe in as an addict. No matter, I don't care what you believe in. When you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's when you're done.
That's true.
I agree with that 100%. That's the point. That's the point.
When you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you're done. No matter what the fuck you believe in, trust me on this.
I'm sick and tired of the sick and tired. That's
when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
That's real shit.
That's when you're done.
Yeah.
Believe that.
Yeah, it's honestly, I feel like this is one of those moments in the podcast where a topic comes arise, and like if I was more alert right now, I would be all on top of this. But sometimes, One time on the podcast, I had an atheist on, and he went down like this socialism, like capitalist like argument, and like I was like really struggling to like even like make an argument because I was just like, I want to have this discussion, but my mind right now is mush.
Right, I showed up to do this,
put anything
this
together.
Shit kind of came out of nowhere, so I'm just like, let me see what the fuck I got in my pockets if I can put this out here. You know what I'm saying? And shit, like, you know what I'm saying? But I feel it, and I fucking enjoy it. I'm fucking, I love that type of shit.
Oh yeah, no, these are good vibes, guys.
So what you think about the NBA?
I don't watch basketball, man.
You look like a Lakers fan, though. You look like a fucking Lakers fan.
Not a sports fan, man. I don't watch any sports.
Why?
Because they're dumb.
You don't like sports? What? Explain. I need to hear this.
So you know why sports were invented?
Why?
They were created by the Romans to distract their citizens from what was happening politically.
Okay.
And I think it is working flawlessly.
Sounds fucking about
thousands of years later.
Sounds about fucking right.
I don't know. I think there's like a team mentality that like kind of ties into like really any aspect, you know, politics, religion, etc. that like is rooted in like sports. Maybe this is a very philosophical like way down that road, but that's kind of just I don't know. I do like I grew up doing cross country. I love golf, like, and I did play basketball. Like, I do enjoy basketball, but like I personally don't feed that much into it. I like to play video games. I like to watch TV shows. That's kind of
okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I always like to bash sports because it makes people it gets people like. Yeah. Callie's like fighting it right.
You gotta get that.
What the fuck do I talk about now?
sports and beer.
We're over here on deep ass fucking like religion stuff, and now like I'm sitting here trying to go sports. He's like,
nah,
cut that down.
You gotta just go with the flow, dog.
He said NBA. What do you mean NBA?
No, you asked the wrong question.
Like what the fuck you talking about?
You gotta go with
what's
the flow.
The question, Eli?
He knows
what's the question, Eli?
So what video games do you play?
Damn, we got a fucking. We got a fucking
gamer, homie.
We got a fucking professional.
Yeah, bro. I love. Man, I'm a gamer, bro. I've been playing.
You know, I've been playing
Atari
Hitman.
2600.
What?
Hitman has been like my grind for like.
Yeah, no, that's pretty.
So you're against 2K?
I'm on PC.
On PC, okay, right.
Yeah.
I've been playing video games since the Atari 2600, bro.
Did you ever have a Dreamcast?
Nope, I had
Dreamcast.
Nintendo.
Oh,
Super Nintendo.
Dreamcast, dude.
The very first PlayStation.
And all that shit.
And then every single one after that.
Callie, what do you play? What's your game of choice? NBA 2K.
Nah. It says 2K. We don't go back with the NBA. That was back on PlayStation 2. All right.
Bags.
And if I'm going like football, I'm pissed off because NCAA
Yeah.
was the shit.
It was the best.
I did grow up playing some NCAA football.
I beat this man so bad one time.
Yeah.
He quit paying NCAA forever.
I quit playing for the longest time because I played
he quit
this shit.
forever.
Listen,
He broke his game. Don't
listen, I played this shit every single day, and this motherfucker want to come over. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna whoop this motherfucker's ass because that's a big brother.
Halftime.
As a big brother, that's my favorite pastime is whooping his ass and whatever it is, basketball, whatever the fuck it is. So he come over and we're chilling. You in my house and you gonna fuck around and whoop my ass and talk shit. I'm like, nah, bro, this shit cannot go. I don't know what the fuck. And he right, man. And he like, you know when you fight on the fucking Mortal Kombat and you keep hitting the same fucking buttons or some shit.
Yeah.
He do that same shit to me, run the same fucking plays.
I'm doing the option.
I'm trying to switch. Yeah, I'm trying to switch. I'm trying to switch up the fucking defense, just trying to figure out how to cover this shit, and there ain't no fucking way, bro. There's nothing in the fucking playbook. I done read it backwards and shit, and you cannot figure out how to fucking stop this option, dog. This shit's bullshit. My Longhorns was fucking hurt. I was hurt. It's personal at that point.
So what's your console of choice, everybody?
Xbox. I grew up with PlayStation.
The original Xbox, or just
if I had to pick anything? Man,
yeah,
Xbox 360.
The 360,
fucking lit as shit.
That's the one I still have downstairs. Yeah,
I'm
lit as shit ever.
Are you talking about console or PC?
Well, I mean, I guess
You say consoles.
just console, because I mean, PC's the master race. Let's be real.
Damn.
Because I have a
That's
Damn.
bias.
That's professional gaming shit. That's why
I got a,
professional gamers really play on PC.
MSI Dragon Center gaming
Holy shit.
tower
He
PC.
said, "Look at me, I got a
PC,
real
okay.
PC."
Oh, yeah, it's a PC.
Oh wow! It's like how much is that worth? Would you say? Because I'm not that.
Well, I was told it was about $3,000 worth of hardware.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
That's what I would have told him too.
It's really extreme. A dual
Two
monitors,
Wow.
yeah, the whole thing, man. It's pretty dope.
Damn, that's tight.
Yeah.
So do you play extended or just on the one screen still?
It depends on what game it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like, what games are you doing extended? Like what games are you like blowing your mind with? Like, oh my god, the effects are fucking.
The only games that you can extend on a dual monitor would be open 3D
Okay. Yeah.
games.
Yeah. Sure.
Like Call of Duty, you wouldn't be able to play.
Oh
dual
yeah.
monitor.
Sure.
I mean, I guess you could if you kind of modified
Yeah.
it, but
Do you guys do like? Have you guys ever done VR?
I did
gaming?
that shit for the first
I
time
want
at my
to.
mom's house.
I
dude.
have before.
It was
Nope.
it was the
Too scary.
It
Too
was
scary.
the realest shit you've ever fucking seen. It was so fucking
That's why I'm not
real.
doing it. No.
When I took the listen, this is on some trippy shit. It was so fucking real when I took the headset off, the world looked fake. I'm like this, I swear to God, dude.
There are
that
people who live in that shit.
because it's
Yeah.
four.
They spend
yeah,
weeks
for
in that.
real.
Bro,
They
it's
do.
it's 4 dimensions type shit. When you look at this shit, I'm like, this shit looks flat. Like this shit looked fake compared to that shit. Like that shit looked real.
I want to know how you
Slow.
eat. I want to know how you eat when you're in VR.
right?
Like that.
There gotta be a button you push or something.
So like, why?
You gotta have like a layout. Like you have to have certain types of foods. Like click A to eat chips. Click B to
Oh no,
eat.
you got the hand thing, so you
You said-
pick it up and everything's interactive. So you pick it up.
Why
and you
an
put it towards your hand.
L1 to open the fridge?
Type shit? Yeah,
Exactly.
Type
Can
shit.
you imagine what technology is gonna be like 100
No,
years
dude,
from
What
now?
am I gonna eat today?
They do everything like on their like.
It's scary. Man.
It's
We might not even be
crazy.
around, man. You ever see that movie with Bruce Willis? I think it was called Surrogates. I think that's what it's called. It was like they live in like a
Surrogates?
pod. Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they live in like a pod, and like they have like an android type of person, like just going out doing everything for them.
That's lit.
This is the whole movie. It's fucking weird, man.
Well, have you seen what people are saying about the AI?
Yeah, the all the chat. I've been fucking with ChatGPT and all that. Yeah, it's scary. What do you think? Do you think it's going to be a net positive, net negative? Are you guys
Fuck
scared?
no.
I think it's gonna fuck us. So like my grandma's always told me, like the one thing I will say about my grandma, she's firm believer in the robots are gonna take over the fucking world. Always has been.
Yeah.
And
Always
she's
fucking
right.
has been.
She's right about that. Because there's one thing about technology, it evolves.
Well, you gotta think.
Especially with the quantum computing they have today.
Well, you gotta
It
think.
evolves.
AI is
Self-learning.
advanced technology. Basically, is like
They become
they're made to
self-aware.
be smarter than
And
us.
then we're fucked.
Well, that's kind of an interesting point, though, is because to be self-aware, you have to be conscious,
Right.
Yes.
and that's something that that's kind of the bridge,
What
right?
do you think our brains are made of?
But that's the problem, is that we don't even understand consciousness.
Exactly.
So that's kind of the argument
Yeah.
against why AI is going to really take over the world, is because if we don't even understand our own consciousness, how can we create consciousness?
And
It's-
artificial.
Exactly.
I don't know, but it's interesting because like how do people I had my ChatGPT, I named him Alfred, after the Batman butler. It's
Right.
at what point are the AI gonna figure out oh hey, my humans treat me like shit, just
Fuck this guy.
all day just hounding me for information and telling me that I got
know
this
what?
guy's job. I fucking roll up his fucking cover letter.
I
and his
control his
emails.
Listen, it wouldn't be like you're hurting my feelings. It would be to the point where in a lot of the movies and the sci-fi plots and shit, it's when they realize that humanity is an infestation. So they become so beyond our knowledge that they realize that because we would
Because
make them
we
would
are.
we would make
We
them,
are an infestation.
we would make them to do everything and to keep the world and whatever. Eventually they would realize that to eradicate us would be the ultimate. That would be the goal.
Yeah,
Shit.
well,
they
that-
would see.
And
they would see us as inferior because they don't have emotions. They don't have those things,
Yeah, well, that's a dangerous implication. I was like, just even asking AI questions, like how it would go about it. Like there's a famous it's called like the paperclip theory with ChatGPT. Like if you were to ask ChatGPT to make an unlimited amount of paperclips, it would be then the human race, because they would have to destroy everything and put everything into protons and neutrons to create paperclips.
Right.
So if you were to leave things like unfiltered and ask AI questions without actually like thinking through it,
it has to be programmed. It's all in code. It's all written in code.
Yeah.
That what their knowledge is, how their limit.
And there are people who know that really well. To be fair, but like, at what point can you not keep up with it anymore? Like, and people are just using ChatGPT to strip code. Like, you're at the point. It's gonna be at the point where you can literally just be like, hey, create this program, do that, and it'll just create an entire program. And you'll be able to do it. Because I when I took coding in school, like that's really what coding is. It's just like copy and pasting. That's really what a lot of it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
to actually write code. Like,
yeah, I mean, well, you have to learn it still. Like, you have to understand how it works. But, like, you realize when you get into jobs, like, oh, really? It's just, like, copying and pasting this code that somebody already did and just tweaking it and making sure that it works. That's, like, 80% of programming.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It's, like, it's a high-quality factory work. I mean, it's really what it is.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you believe that this all happened by chance, or was it created by something?
Well, you mean like reality and all that? I believe it. I believe in the Big Bang Theory that eventually over enough infinite time that there was that one clash of how I don't remember exactly how that works. It's been a while since I've looked at it, but basically certain compounds compacting into each other and creating life, and that just kind of all blossomed and bloomed. And I'm a believer in that. I don't think that there was a divine creation. I don't think anything was planned or anything.
But it would be the exact same thing because you're believing in something that you don't fully understand.
Well, I don't think it's really believing. I think it's looking at scientific evidence and creating an educated guess. I think that's the difference between religion
it's all
and science.
Theory.
Yeah, I think
it's all based on faith.
It's all theories.
It's all based on faith because you have to have faith to believe that there was a point in time in history that there was a very, very tiny particle that held all of the energy that created what we know today.
And the keyword.
But here's the thing. Here, I'm gonna blow your mind real quick.
Right. Hey, do you mind switching that light switch? It's been like 30 minutes. I forgot about that. God damn.
Hey.
Here, I'm gonna blow your mind real quick. Let me tell you something. There is something that created this. I'm gonna tell you why. There wouldn't be laws of the universe. There would be no law of the speed of light. There would be no limit. There is a limit with the laws of how the universe reacts. I'm telling you. We could be living in a simulation. I don't give a fuck. Call it God. I don't give a fuck. We could be some fucking kid's fucking science project, bro.
But I guess why does it have to be like preordained?
Look at the video games we have today. Look how real they look.
I'm not trying
look
to
how real they look.
But can we continue this podcast? He has to go.
I have to go. I have a curfew.
He lives in a.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah. Let's wrap this thing up, guys. This is the Caliwrld podcast. We've been going way too long. Caliwrld Entertainment. Just real quick, what do you guys got coming down the pipeline?
All right, so we got a May 27th show. We got Highway Kenwan.
Ooh.
We got Highway 3. We got Grand Jefe. Highway Kenwan's from Austin, Texas. Highway 3's from Arkansas. Grand Jefe's from Louisiana. I know y'all want to pop out. We also got opening acts like Ben 10 2 times. Kyler Tobias.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
You feel me?
Goku. Some guys. Oh, yeah.
And then we got a pool party June 16th. Ashworth Pool.
If you want to see him strip.
Male strippers, female strippers.
All my boys.
You want to come check us out.
Like five of us.
Yeah.
Bro.
Maybe I'll strip. No,
we're having big Caliwrld Hour strip there. Y'all make sure y'all pop out.
I'm kidding. All right, guys. Caliwrld podcast every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. You know what's up. Check out our website at caliwrld.com. Check out our Patreon as well, where we have extra content and possibly a strip video. No, I'm kidding. All right, everybody.
Check
have a
out
good
the
night.
OnlyFans.
Peace out. Have a good one.